break the rules.
Look out!
To become a hero. I do it and I become the enemy. It doesn't seem fair.
Oh boy. Yeah, y'all just gotta leave my girl Wanda alone. Like, is she wrong? She's not wrong at all. So we're gonna talk about what Wanda told Strange, which is essentially when you do this, and what she means by when you do this, it's basically rewriting reality, messing up people's lives, getting people killed, causing destruction, mayhem. When Strange does it, he's looked at as a hero. However, when Wanda herself does it, she's looked at as a villain. And she says that it doesn't seem fair. And she's absolutely right. And the reason as to why, we're going to focus on the reason as to why Wanda is looked at as a villain in comparison to Doctor Strange. For Doctor Strange, the very first time that we as the viewer, and also the people inside of the MCU, the very first time that they became aware of Doctor Strange's persona as the Sorcerer Supreme, he was essentially saving Hong Kong from Dormammu. And everyone saw him save Hong Kong from Dormammu. He flew into the dark dimension. He hit him with the, I've come to make a bargain. And he was seen as the hero. He took on this giant existential threat to our world from another dimension, beat it, came back, and he saved everyone. That's not the case for Wanda. For Wanda, people have the way in which the MCU views her is as a villain. She's essentially also treated as a villain. The very first time Wanda shows up, she's in opposition to the Avengers. She's a villain to the Avengers. Some would say to the people of Sokovia, she is also a villain. Her actions of helping Ultron led to the destruction of Sokovia. While she attempted to rehabilitate her image by joining the Avengers and going off on missions with them, when she destroyed Crossbones and killed all those people that was not Wakanda, but it was an African state. But when she killed all of those health workers from Wakanda, the world looked at her as a villain again. She was the poster child of the Sokovia Accords, which is essentially, we need to rein in all of these superpowered people and the Avengers so that they aren't just going off doing whatever they want and causing destruction that they don't get to answer for. Because she was the poster child, she was basically villainized, which is Tony, in his infinite wisdom, decided to have Vision watch her, and by watching her, prevent her from leaving. And for Wanda, that was a betrayal, because her friends and the people who she thought was friends, who she had worked beside, also viewed her as a threat. Even though, from Tony's perspective, what he was doing was protecting Wanda from the outside world, it did kind of validate the concerns of the people outside of the Avengers who didn't know Wanda, which is basically Tony Stark is keeping the Scarlet Witch away from the public because she's dangerous and she's unhinged. And we see a lot of that happen to Wanda when she's captured. Everyone else, they're in a cell. Wanda, she's in a cell on her own. She has a shock collar around her neck. She has chains on her hands to stop her from going anywhere. And she's in a straitjacket. Everyone else is in a cell, relaxing. Wanda gets the special treatment of being a criminal because the world views her, and Ross views her, as a criminal. So when she went off to Westview and she created the Hex and she brainwashed everyone and put the children to sleep and they were all sharing her grief and she was living her perfect life, the people on the outside still looked at Wanda as a villain. SWORD looked at Wanda as a villain because her public image is that of a villain. She did these things and the initial thought from everyone was, it's a villainous reason. Like, the Scarlet Witch is finally unhinged. She's lost her mind and she's hurting people. And the Avengers probably should have stopped her when they had the chance. And it sucks because her image never rehabilitated itself. When she brought down the hex and returned everybody back to normal, all those people still lived with the trauma that Wanda not only went throughout her life, but the trauma of living inside of the hex, being controlled like puppets, and being aware of what's going on, but being forced to basically act in the play and regurgitate lines so that Wanda could live her perfect life. So I'm fairly certain this also did not help her image in any way, shape, or form. But when you look at Doctor Strange is the guy who saved us from Dormammu. He showed up and summoned all of the warriors from across the universe to help fight Thanos. He stopped the Avengers from drowning. He's a hero. So as a hero, and who's someone whose persona is always looked at as a hero, Doctor Strange is allowed to get away with nefarious bullshit that Wanda could never get away with. And she is absolutely right. It doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem fair at all. And it's basically just how Marvel, I wouldn't even really say that it's just how Marvel, because when you really take a step back, you can equate a lot of real life things to Wanda and Strange, which is the court of public opinion will always paint you in a negative light because everyone wants a villain. And it's easy for the people of the MCU who don't understand Wanda to look at Wanda and paint her as a villain. And it's also easy for them to paint Strange as a hero because just as villains are popular, heroes are popular too. Doctor Strange, he is super popular. He's a Sorcerer Supreme. Everyone knows who he is. Everything that he does is to protect the world. That shit that happened in Spider-Man No Way Home, millions of people probably, even though Peter was erased from that, millions of people were probably still aware of the fact that Doctor Strange was on the Statue of Liberty holding back something dangerous from destroying New York, building up and into his mythos. It's a trope in comic books. Heroes get away with egregious shit. I like the fact that the MCU is taking a chance to put a spotlight on it and say that while heroes are getting away with nefarious shit, sometimes there are other heroes that are just basically looked at villains for trying to live a peaceful life. I'll admit, my girl did dominate a fuck ton of minds. That's true. That Westview shit is out of pocket. I agree. But at the exact same time, has anything Wanda, why can't I get this out? That's so difficult. Jumble of words today. Maybe it's because I'm still thinking about the trailer. But has anything Wanda done been as bad as any of the shit that Doctor Strange is about to get up to in Multiverse of Madness? No. We are looking at a multiversal collapse on an astronomical level here. But at the end of the day, the only thing people are going to talk about is the fact that Scarlet Witch was a villain who was attempting to stop Doctor Strange from not fucking up the universe anymore. But that's the end of the video. Let me know what you think. Comment down below and let me know. What do you think? Do you think that Wanda gets the bad shake of things in the MCU where she's always looked at as a villain? Do you agree with our girl that it is not fair that she basically has to live her life being painted as the bad guy when all she basically wants is the same love and recognition that all of her fellow peers also get? Comment down below. Let me know. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.